Remember what we're looking here? We're looking at futures prices. Think of futures prices as a world price. Then we have our cash price, as we talked about last time. That's the difference between the world price and your local price, and this is reflected in the basis as shown here. And these were all in your last readings. We're going to look at these 4 different things that can happen. Looks like I got the basis defined on the wrong page, but that'll work. Remember what the basis is? It's cash minus futures. Welcome to session 2 of so most of the time that means basis is going to be a negative number. I hope futures can go up, futures can go safe and sound down. I know the group in Monroe County are going to be making it up Monday night due to we haven't looked at a lot of tools yet. There's a different tool here for your home as I recommend each one of these hall here at MSU. We'll get the hedging here in just a minute. Get started. This is just a little bit of the notes that I used last time. We did before, but in order to get the typing a little bit better and email out bigger, I took off the option for the parts that I have today. I haven't because I've got it yet. I'll register just so if you have your printed off copy, you'll notice I'm just using 1 and 2. Remember where we're looking here? We're looking at futures prices. Think of futures prices. Over here, I just have 1 and 2 each one. Some of these have, and then we have our cash prices as we talked about last time, grow into options. That's the difference between the world price and your local price. Can happen, and this is want to make a decision. Do we like futures today, as shown here? And these are here, or do we like them later? Last reading. Of course, we like high prices. We're sellers. We're going to look at do we like the cash or long way can futures? Or near futures, looks like I got the basis defined on a relatively higher price. Remember what the basis is? The thing that we minus futures we're going to determine. We have done it, so most of the time, I mean, keep that basis is going to be a negative number. You all know what storing cash is, up, futures storing grain, down, and you all know what weekend selling it today is. So those 2 are done. And we haven't looked at a lot of spend a lot of time on this one called hedging. Of course, the hedge is taking one of these. Position as a cash market is in the futures market. Look at the hedging here is just a long cash. We're buying it, we're storing it a bit different, and we're selling futures. As you'll see many times today, in order to get the typing a little bit better, a little bit bigger. We'll get to it later. Hedge drive is merely the elevator doing the hedge. We'll get the job done tonight. So if you have a lot of things that a hedge is going to notice, I'm just using 1 thing it's going to teach us. Are we on this side of the graph? Are we on this type of the graph? Over here, I just have 1 and 2 in each one. We'll look at when we look at futures 5 different alternatives. Once we decide to hedge, we're not at all interested in whether prices go up. These different things that can happen with that amount make only a decision. Do we like futures today? The only thing we're interested in right here is what happening here. Is the basis strengthening, whether the prices are going up or down? The cash long way from futures. That for a hedge to work. Futures, we like them near futures. If the hedge doesn't work right off, that means we're on this side of the chart. So this type of thing that we're different besides hedging, but by learning that we have done insides of a contract, I mean, we ought to be able to make those decisions. You all have a lot easier. You all know what storing cash is. So here's a little bit different prices, and you all know what you're selling it today. So if you learn how to do a hedge, then you can go back to spend a lot of time on this one that sheet hedging and see if you truly understand hedges taking the opposite position. There's a couple things you need in the futures market. One thing you need is corn futures, long cash. We're buying it, we're storing it, ETNs, and we're selling. This morning here about 9 many times today as we go through a bunch of workshops. 10:15 our time. We'll get to it a little later. July futures here are doing a hedge. 450 hedge for you. Remember what this is? But there's a lot of things that a hedge is going to teach us. It's the one thing it's going to teach us. So we're going to round that up. Graph to 451. Somewhere you need to look at when we look at futures to be. Once we decide to hedge, we're not at all interested in whether prices go up or prices go down. At the same time, the futures price was 451 hedged. The only thing we're interested in, if I draw what other elevators, is the basis strengthening, whether it's 416, another down, 394, another one was like 404. For a hedge to work. As you got to look at the hedge doesn't work right off, that means we're on this side of the chart. And we want to pick a thing here that we need to know is by learning the insides of a hedge. Now at this point, I'm going to want you to take a little bit of my word for it. I'm going to give you a simple explanation. These are later today, and in the next session we'll even get your ideas in. If you learn how to do a hedge, then you can go back to last what it is and what do we expect the basis to be, and see if you truly understand it yourself. We have to lift our head. There's a couple things you need. And we always want to you need is corn futures. Just before we do that contract. These are pulled off DTM. If we're using this morning here about 9 getting out by the end of June. You don't have to. But the basis starts getting crazier after that. July futures here. This is a very important concept. This whole hedge what this 6 is based on whether you can, which means 3/4. So we're going to round that up late in June to 451. We know what it is today. Somewhere you need to get a cash price. This happens to determine whether it's going to narrow enough to pay storage. A few miles from my home, that term and then cash price strengthen versus narrow. The futures price was 451. Will the basis strengthen enough to pay storage? If it is, the market's telling you other elevators. If it's not, 2 other elevators in the area is 416. Another one was 394. Another one was like 402. Get out of futures and cash. A little further away to get that basis. You just get out of basis. General thing here that we need to know, unfortunately with public resources, I don't keep track of these a lot. I'll show you somewhere I did to take a little bit of my word for it. I'm going to give you the last 5 years later today and in the next session we even July basis relative to how we might find this number. And then I basically what it is what do we expect the basis to be? I throw out the weekly basis and I look at have to lift our head. And we always want to lift our head. I average just before we go on that contract. This is very close to what you'll see. July futures we plan on getting out by the end of June. Later on, we'll have to tell you what this the way that elevator thing after that. Your guess is a very important concept. This whole hedge is the other thing we need to know is storage. You can estimate what the basis will be like. We're calling it on know what it is today. That means we're not trying to pay for the one will be. We can determine whether it's going to narrow enough to pay storage. This is what we call opportunity cost. I'll spend a little, I should say, strengthen versus time on it. But basically, this 2 cents the basis strength $4 pay storage. And I have the market telling you the store loan. I could be paying that off. The market's telling you not 2 cents in interest. I'm not saying, or almost 2 cents. And then we have and cash. A little bit of air dry basis. You just get out of farm. Now, if this was off farm, and we'll look at an example later, it's going to be the same short resources. I don't keep track of these a lot. I'll show you somewhere I did historically. The chart. But I want to look at about the last 5 years numbers and see what we're going to do. What was the July basis? We draw this chart here. Now this chart looks just slightly different than the one I had throw out because I made it on this basis. I straw out the weakest basis. This chart is now the one on the web page, but if you printed off the other one, I averaged the 3 basis. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close to what you'll see to show you the innards of a hedge. Later on, we'll also tell you what this away with that. We're going to move over here to the camera. We're going to make this picture here a little bit bigger. The other thing we need to know is storage here. Look at a hedge here. We're going to call storage 2 cents a month. We're calling it on-farm storage. This is the hedge table. We're not trying to pay for the bin with this. We have the different pay for the bin by making the most money we can. This is what we call opportunity cost. And I'll spend a little but that's what the base we calculate right now. 2 cents is a $4 basis. And I have a 6% loan. I could be paying that off. Now I'm losing 2 cents in interest. The first thing we have is the date, or almost 2 cents. So then we have, a little bit of air blowing through and stuff. So on farm. Now if this was off farm, and we'll look at an example later, it's going to be the same. What's our operation? Lost interest. We're going to take opposite position. Going to be so we're going to the charge from the elevator. Or in a sense, if you're an elevator, numbers and see what we're going to do with them. Same thing. And we get this chart here. Now this chart looks just slightly different than the one I had you print out because I made it for this $4 wider screen. So this chart is now the one on the web page. If you printed out the other one, you're just fine. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through this by hand to show you the innards of the hedge in the future, which would be July part of it. So with that, we're going to move over here to the camera. We're going to make this picture here a little bit bigger. It's 451. We're going to look at, and in fact, maybe I can go over this chart right here. We'll go up here at the time. This is the hedge table. You have those numbers. You'll notice we have the different parts to it. We have cash. We have futures. We have the basis. Something sunk here. That's what the basis we calculate right now. And we have the expected basis. This is the one where $4 to be is minus 451 is minus 51 cents. The first thing we have is the expected basis. So today here, we know what the basis is. So that we have minus 51 cents. Now I wonder why I'm doing all these. We're going to find out what's our operation with these two columns, opposite position. We can actually find the answer to the just this one column. Or in a sense, if you're an elevator, we're going to do this column first. The same thing tells us what we're going to expect. And we know that the cash price. And then we're going to go sold it today. Example, we can see whether that works for it. or the hedge didn't work. Buy, store, and cash market. What's the opposite position here? It's sell. We plan on getting out. I'm just going to futures. I'm going to sell 14 in the futures, only because 4.5 months later it makes it easy to calculate. Remember? At that time, we look at the previous chart, minus 30 cents. 451. We follow the basis. Act. Maybe I can go over that 30 cents. Chart. 1 year was 25 cents. 1 year was 35 cents. 1 year was 25 those numbers. Average those numbers right. Just a smudge under 30 cents in front of you. So we're using minus 30 cents. Now what we do here is, and this math looks a little funny, so let me do it on a number line. What's the basis? If we go from minus $51, say minus 51, the line's minus 51 cents. Minus 51 cents. Now we don't need an expected basis. Minus 30 cents. We know what the basis is. Is that a plus or negative? Minus 51 cents. That's now you wonder why I'm doing all these. We've gone from minus 51. We can calculate a hedge with these two columns, which is a plus, or we can actually find 21 cents a hedge with just this one column. So what the market's telling us, so we're going to do this column first, because 21 cents we're going to expect from the hedge. We're going to go, I call an example, proof, see whether that will go into next time. It didn't work. Just do everything at once. We'll know pretty well by the time we get to this point here. So think of it this way. We're going to go getting minus 51 to minus 30, put 617 14. So only because that word for it 1.5 months later, it makes it easy to calculate. What are our storage costs? At that time, we expect the months to be minus times 2 months. So our storage cost is going to be 9 cents. An average at 30 cents. So the market was 25 cents. 1 year is 35 cents. 1 year was 29 cents. So our average of 9 cents. Just a smudge under 30 cents. So we're using minus 30 cents. So you can be following this along and writing it down. This math looks a little funny. So let me do it on a number on the side. If we go from minus 51 and move to the next page, 0 on the number line, we go from minus 51 cents, penny a bushel, to minus 30 cents. It's not actually you're paying a broker a penny. Negative move. This is really saying that you're paying the broker $50. Minus 51, it might have been 30, which is a plus. We're paying the broker $50 divided by 5,000 bushels. So what the market's telling us here is they're going to pay out. That's 21 cents divided by 5,000, and you have a penny. We're going to get into what we're paying is 21 cents proofs as we go into next time. Cost of 10 cents every at once. There's no perfect quarter. So we have 11 cents left over. We're going to go from minus 51 minus 30 from the hedge, positive 21. Okay, what do we mean by the net from the hedge? A little bit. How much have some storage costs? What are our storage costs to do? 0.5 months. Then if we sell it at harvest time. So our storage cost at harvest time for $4. So the market's going to pay us 21 cents. Or we could sell it, but we're going to have a few months later for $4.11. And remember, so you can be following this along and writing it down. That's how you learn. After brokerage fees, we look over the other side. So this isn't the type of thing where what's 11 cents to the next page. And then of course 11 cents times 5,000, the brokerage cost is a penny a bushel, real money. It's not actually you're paying a broker a penny. This is what we're really saying, you're paying the broker $50. Remember what this number here is. This is an expected basis. We think it's going to be paying the broker $50 divided by 5,000 bushels, 5 or 10 cents amount of bushels we hedge here, because that's one contract. We're going to go through a couple things, what's called a perfect hedge, for the market's paying that 21 cents. Is that the minus 30 turns out to be the minus cost of 10 cents. But we can hedge. So we have 11 cents. You can do a little better. You can be a little worse. This is what we call that out as we go through the hedge. So let's say we need to get the futures down as it sounds much better if we're willing to get out of the cash out at harvest time. We have to sell it at harvest time for $4. Let's say at the time the price is, or we could sell $3.70 a few months later for $4.11. How do we get out of, and if you were just in the cash market, what would happen there? 11 cents, 30 cents worse after if I paid at harvest time. So this is in the paying 9 cents storage. That's 11 cents. And then of course 11 cents times 39 cents starts adding up to if I'd sold it for real money. That's the market. So this is where you're not hedged. You know, you'd be at, remember what this number here is. I mean 361. This is an expected basis. $4. We think it's going to be Let's say we hedged though. If we sold July futures, within 5 or 10
how do we get out of minus 30?
Remember what a selling a futures contract is? It's a promise to
go through
deliver
a couple things,
what's called
you
a
can
perfect
buy
hedge.
that promise back
All
by
that means
buying
is
another
you'll see is
contract.
that the minus 30
You don't have to
turns
buy
out
the
to be the
same one,
minus
because
30.
every single contract out there, millions of them, are exactly the same.
A hedge
you
can be
sold
a
a
contract,
contract,
you can
you can buy
better,
a
you can be a little
contract,
worse.
contract
We'll
back.
find that out as we go
So we're
through.
gonna buy.
So let's say
Next
first
July
we're going to
back.
do futures down as it says up here. And let's say the base, if we own the stuff, to get out of the cash operation, we have to sell it. Now let's just say you were a speculator. Let's say you thought the price is down, so you sold $3.70. You bought it back for $4. How do we get out of it? In your pocket? If you were just in the cash market, out of your pocket, you still have worse off than 51 cents in your pocket. I end up paying 9 cents damage. If you were just a speculator, you got it right. Now, you're not a speculator. Worse off, we'll see when we do the other side harvest. But you made 51 cents market. Let's say you had not hedged. You'd have to pay a broker. You'd be at 461. I mean 361. So basically $4. You just played the futures market. Hedge though. If we sold July futures, you made 50 cents. How do we get out of it? Remember what a selling a futures contract is? It's a promise to deliver corn. Well, you can buy that promise back by buying another contract. You don't have to buy the same one. We lost every single contract. We're taking millions out. We lost 39 cents. So if you sold a contract, you can buy a cash market contract back. We're going to buy this number over here so it's easier to do the math. July back in the futures market, okay? And let's say the base is the whole, and let's say we made 11 cents, $4. We did 11 cents better than this. You were a speculator. You thought the market was going to go down, so you sold it for $4.11. This is what we call $4 hedge, but all we mean by a perfect hedge is the net $4 out of your pocket is the same. You still have price. It's 51 cents in your pocket. Could we have found that out a different way? The market went down. The answer is yes. If you were just a speculator, you did go to 30 cents. You're not a speculator. $3.70 other side. $4, but you made 51 cents as a speculator. You did have to pay a broker. You did make 21 cents for the same reasons we did over here. So basically, if we subtract play the futures market, 9 cent contract, you made 50 cents. Penny broker. Official. Of course, at 11, $500. And you can always tell whether you made an error or not. So we look over here. And we say, all right, we lost. This means we're doing both. We're taking a net. So we lost 39 cents. If those two numbers are the cash market, we're going to find out later. These two numbers bring this number over here, so it's easier to do the math. 50 cents in the futures market. Situation I did here. And lo and behold, now some of you may be sitting there and say, this is pretty complicated. Every time I do a hedge, 11 cents better than this? And the answer is no. I'm going to show you a very simple way of doing a hedge a little later on. 11 cents. But it doesn't do you any good unless you understand how it's working. Because by understanding this, and we'll follow it through the whole workshop the same, you'll also know how other tools work. Now, could we have found that out out there in the market? The answer is yes. I did sell the basis did go to $3.70. $3.70 minus $4.09 in the story. 30. Okay? But I did make 50 cents. We did make 21 cents for the same reasons we did over here. We subtract the 9 cents. We subtract the penny broker. Oh, Jim, you're messing up. We're at 11. Okay, so, and you can always tell whether you made an error or not, okay? And this happens to turn out to be 411. This is a positive, this is a negative. So here we go. This is 320 is equal here. 420 minus 911. We're 411. Those two numbers are the same. We're going to find out later. So that's some of the main things, and I say we'll get another one. As we go over here, in the situation I'm not playing with this for a while, you'll see in your notes if you indicate this is pretty complicated. Every time I do a hedge, I put in the numbers. I've typed the numbers down. I'm going to show you a very simple way of doing the hedge a little later on. But that doesn't do you any good unless you understand how it's working, because by understanding this and follow through the whole workshop, you'll also know how other tools work. So these are the numbers. I will put these numbers down here, the ones that I went out with. I did sell my But the
corn for
typed-in numbers are
$3.70.
here, just in
Okay.
case you couldn't read.
Did cost
some
me
of the
9
others.
cents in the store.
Now, this is a perfect hedge one way.
But I did make
We want to
50
go to a
cents.
perfect hedge if futures go up.
Well, I'm going to cheat a little bit here, and I'll let you, if you
Uh-oh,
want,
you're
I'll let
messing
you
up here.
get time to catch up here. 50 cents. Okay, and this happens to turn out to be 411. The same example. That's a negative, so here we go up to
Except have
320.
prices go
I mean,
up
420 instead of prices
minus
go
go
down
down.
for that, and we're at 411. Notice, these numbers here, so that's some of the main things, and
are
I say
exactly the same.
We'll get another one. As we go over here, as these numbers here, as we go along,
You'll see, and in your notes, if you didn't get these copied down,
the basis is
that I
going to
put in the
strengthen,
numbers,
and we'll show you
I
how.
typed the numbers in.
You've already
These
seen
numbers
it a little
here are
bit.
the
Remember
same
what happens
numbers
right here, I made
that we
more
had
money in the
before.
futures market. I'm probably, then I lost
Gonna
it.
just
Just
go
go on
on
to another example, Steve. And lo and behold, that happens to be 21
So these are the
cents.
numbers. I will put these
So
scribbles
we come
on,
over here.
the ones that I went out with,
And let's do the same
but
example.
the typed in
except this
numbers are
time,
here, just in case you
By
couldn't
the time we
read
got towards the
some
end of the
others.
month, and for some
Now,
reason
this is
I
a
had
perfect
620
hedge
on this
one
one,
way.
basically the later half of
We
June.
want to go to a perfect hedge if
214,
futures
what
go
happened?
up.
I went to sell my cash because I'm going to cheat a little bit here. And prices had gone up to
And I'll let you-
470. If you want, I'll let you get time to catch up
So
here.
I
made, we're going to
70
take
cents
this
in the
example,
cash market.
the same example, except have prices
Means I'm
going
gonna
up
have to
instead of
make a
prices
correction on my
go
cheat
down.
sheet,
But that's all right. Notice, so we made 70 cents. These numbers here, okay, still
are
cost us
exactly
9
the same.
cents storage. But it means we made
These
61
numbers here as we go
61
along.
cents. Now,
We had
this
the
is a
same
case we know right
expectations.
now. We wish
The
we had
basis
not
is
had
gonna
to strengthen, and we'll show
does
you
that
how.
mean you made a mistake?
You've already seen
No,
it a
you
little
made a
bit.
decision.
Remember what
The
happened
best
right
one
here?
you could.
I made more
So
money in the
let's say the
futures
basis
market,
again
again went to minus 30, then I lost
still
in the
a
cash
perfect
market.
hedge.
If we
lo
sell
and behold,
futures,
that
how do we get
happens to
out?
be
We have to
21
buy
cents.
futures. So we come over here, or buy July, and let's
what
do the
happened
same
here?
example, except this time, by the time we got
The
towards
basis
the
was
end of the
30
month,
cents,
and for
which
some
means
reason
it's
I had
$5.
620 on
Now,
this
what
one.
happened in this
Basically,
case?
the later half
We
of
put
June.
451 in our
At
pockets.
214, what happened? We had to take $5
to
out
sell
of my
my
cash
pockets.
because we lost 49
And
cents.
the
Prices
futures
had gone
market.
up to 470. Plus, we still had to pay our brokerage. So I
we lost
made 50 cents. 70
We
cents
bring
in the
that
cash
number
market.
over
here. Minus 50 cents means I'm going to have to minus
Make a
50
correction
cents
on my
plus
cheat sheet, but
61
that's all right.
cents.
Lo
So we
and
made
behold,
70 cents. 11 cents. Okay? It still cost
These
us
did
9
exactly
cents
what we
storage.
expected.
But it means we made 61,
So
we made
61
21 cents there.
Now, this is a case we know right now.
We wished we had not had. We still had to pay the
Now, does
broker.
that mean
I mean,
you
you made a
made-
mistake. We still
No,
had
you
to
made
pay
a
the
decision.
broker, the best one you
We
could.
made
our plus 11 cents. So let's say the basis again went to
therefore,
minus
this one
30.
here,
It's still a perfect hedge. 411. If we sell futures, how do we get out? We have to buy futures. And to this one here, or buy July.
And we're
at 411. And what happened here? So in this case, whether the market went up, the basis was 30
whether
cents,
the market
which means
went
it's
down,
$5. Now what
we
happened
ended
in
up
this
with the
case?
same net.
We put 451 in our pockets. We had to take $5 out of our pockets, and we
So,
lost
now we're gonna say,
49
well,
cents in the futures market. You
Plus,
talk
you still
about
had to pay
our brokerage, so we lost
This is an
50 cents.
estimate.
This one here, we bring that number over here, does not hit minus 50 cents.
The estimate.
Minus 50
And so I
cents
think
plus
it's pretty
61 cents
important
that we go through. Lo and behold, go through an
11
example
cents.
of that. And again, though, what happened here is
did exactly what
I
we
did sell
expected.
my corn for 470, so we made 21 cents there. I did have to pay my 9 cent storage. I did lose 50 cents in the
still
futures
had to
market.
pay the
And lo and
broker.
behold, our storage. That is how
Still
my
had to
net.
pay
The broker turned
We
out
made
to
our
be $4.11.
$4.11.
Again, this
So
is the case
therefore,
where this one
oh
here.
shucks,
I
says
wish
we're
I
at
had.
411.
still, you add this one here, just stayed in the cash market. And and it's important to realize that using hindsight. So in this case, whether the market went up, or whether the market went down, you ended up with the same net.
This is the one. I'll make the correction here. This says minus 70 cents. I'll change that to plus 70 cents, just like I did on my.
Now we're going to say, well,
I'm over here. I didn't move my green arrow here. This minus 70 cents right here.
This one here
should be a plus 70 cents.
What happens if this one does not hit?
Just like the estimate. It's a plus 70 cents as we go.
So I think it's pretty
important
that we go through an example of that. And again, though, what happened here is
we're going to do an imperfect hedge. In a second, I want to jump a little bit ahead and look at this here a little bit. What just happened?
We picked the hedge. Storage. I did lose.
The futures went down like this.
Market
in the first example, more than cash.
How my net
paid off. So when we do that hedge, it says this is the quadrant. If we think prices are going down,
this is the case where
we have every reason to believe that the base is going to tighten, because if it's still 50 cents now, we know it's going to strengthen. The key is
just stayed in the cash
it's
market.
Strengthened enough to pay our storage.
We realize that
strengthened enough to pay our storage. Because if we go over here, side of the chart over here, down here. But even if we look at this one, this is the one. If we think the futures are going up, this says minus 70 cents. Cash is going to strengthen. I'll change that to plus 70 cents, just like I did on mine. That's the reason to just store your cash over here. If you look over here, I didn't move my green arrow here. It's really the strengthening of the base cents right here. Storage should be a plus 70 cents. Futures market got your futures price increase. The strengthening of the basis paid your storage. It's a plus 70 cents as we go. 11 more cents as we go over to here. You look over here. Notice futures only went up 49 cents. Okay, we're going to do an imperfect hedge. In a second, I want to jump a little bit ahead and look at this here a little bit. Even though we did the hedge here, it told us if we thought the hedge futures were going up, if the futures went down like this, in the first example, more than enough to pay storage, paid off. So the rule, when we do that hedge, it says this is the quadrant. We think prices are going down, but I found that out. We have every reason to believe that the base is going to tighten, because if it's 50 cents now. Remember, I'm going to show you it's going to strengthen. The key is, so here we have an imperfect hedge enough to pay our storage. Okay? If it strengthens enough to pay our storage, then we're on this side of the chart over here. But even if we look at this one, okay, I put this in. The futures are going up. First part here, and we think the cash is going to strengthen. Change that. That's the reason to just store your cash. And if you look over here, that would have paid. It's really the strengthening of the basis that paid the storage. Store it for $4. Futures market got your futures price increase. The strengthening of the basis paid your storage. Plus it paid you 11 more cents. If you look over here, notice futures, the opposite only went up 49 cents. Ought to put buy here. Your cash went up 70 cents. If we store it, that's because we've grown it. Even though we did the hedge here, it told us if we thought our futures were going up, which the basis is going to tighten, strengthen, more than enough to pay storage. So futures are the rule just as the same. If I think prices are going to go up, $4 minus 51 cents. Found that out from calculating the hedge. Again, the expected basis. And remember, I'm going to show you a simpler way to do the hedge. We expect this, so here we have an imperfect hedge. $4, okay? And we'll look at that here number here and come up with a net price received. And remember, this is a net price. We're still going to sell our cash. You notice the first part here is just the same. We're going to change that or add gain from the futures. And then we have to take off our brokerage fees. So that's why we keep calling it net. So again, let's review net. It's a combination for $4. This is, and it's important you understand these for different reasons. We haven't talked about it yet, but did you know, you probably heard of 4 July futures, the opposite I could call my elevator. I probably ought to say, buy here. What price would you give me if I wanted to deliver in late June? Store it. That's because we've grown it. We're going to find out that come back with an answer from somebody we want to protect our price, or we grew it, which means we paid all the 8 puts and we bought it that way. And All of a sudden, now that you understand this, you know what's happening.
Same example.
They're being a little conservative on this basis, they're calling it 32 or 3 cents.
51.
Okay? Again, the expected basis
Is 30.
if you call and do that,
We
they
expect
know they're going to get your
expect
cash, so that's
$4.
they're buying it, in essence. They immediately
number
sell
here.
July. When they offer you a forward contract,
Come up with a net
elevators
price,
are
you're hedging
hedging
it.
Believe me. And remember, this is a net
Um,
price. We're still going to hedge
sell
July,
our
you're
cash.
still paying the
We're gonna
storage
subtract-
cost, their storage. We're going to
whether it
subtract
be
there
there
at the
add or
elevator
gain
or in the
factor
futures.
home.
But the
And then we
elevators are
have to
not
take
in the
off our
business to
brokerage fees.
speculate. Oh, I'll
So
give
that's
you
why we keep calling it
$4.10 for your corn
net.
in June. It's a combination of, they
These.
can't afford that. They make their money two
and
ways.
it's
They
important
make
you
their money
understand these for
because they
different
understand the basis.
We haven't
just like
talked
I'm
about
trying
it
to
yet,
get
but
you to
most
make
don't.
money.
But
As you know, all you
And the
probably
other
heard of
way
forward contract.
to make money, of course,
I
is
could call
handling
my
and selling
elevator
to somebody
and
for-
say,
for
what
a
price
markup.
would you give me if I wanted to deliver in late June?
You might say
11 cents isn't
and
much, or 10
you're gonna
cents isn't
find
very
out, they'll
much.
come
back with an answer and
say,
I
I'll give you
understand
about,
this basis, if over 30 years,
408.
you made a nickel more
And
on your corn, just
also
by
now that
making
you
the
understand
correct
this, you know what's
pricing
happening.
decision. And remember, we're being a little
we want to look at
conservative
two
on
selling
this
cash
basis. They're
and
calling
hedging.
it 32 or 3 cents. Usually can do a little bit better than that on soybeans, say 10 cents a bushel. If you had a 2,000
If you
acre
call
farm,
and
do that, they know they're going to
You
get
had
your cash.
1,000 acres in
So
corn,
that's-
and you did a nickel
they're buying it
a bushel
in essence,
better
because you
They
immediately
basis.
sell July. You did
When
dime
they
better
offer you a
because you
forward
learned it on
contract,
the
on
elevators.
soybeans,
You put it
are
in there
hedging
at
it.
5%
Believe me.
interest each year, instead of spending that extra money.
hedge July,
and in
you're
the
still
30 years,
paying
you'd
the
have $1
storage
million.
costs.
These 5 and
whether it
10
be
cent
there
tips here
at
I'm
the
giving you
elevator
are at your home, but the
And
elevators are not in the
as you go
business
through,
to
I'll show you
speculate.
how.
I'll give
It
you
may be
not that you're making an 11
$4.10
cents, by
corn
making the correct
in
decision,
June.
you're losing 11
They
less
can't
than.
afford that. That's
They
the
make
same
their
thing
money
as
two
11 more
ways. They
cents
make their money
in your pocket.
because they understand the basis, just like
So
I'm
let's
trying
look
to
at
get
this
you
here.
to make money. So we go to the other way. They make money, of course, is
620.
handling it and selling to somebody for a markup. We sell. Okay. You might say 11
let's say
cents
we
isn't
sell at
much, or 10
370,
cents
which is
isn't
the
very
same as the
much.
first example.
But by understanding this basis, if over
The difference
30
here,
years,
though,
is at this time, when we buy
made
our
a
July
nickel more
futures
on your
back, corn, just by making the correct pricing
It's
decision.
$3.95.
Remember, we only looked at two, selling, cash, and hedging. The earlier example, usually can do a little bit better than that on soybeans,
You
say
notice
10
it was
cents a bushel.
$4.
If you had a 2,000
Now,
acre
what
farm,
happened here?
you had 1,000 acres in corn, and you did a nickel
together
a bushel better
even
because
quicker.
you learned
On
it.
the basis.
If we look at this
You did
dime
previous
better
chart.
because you learned it on soybeans. You put it
right
in there
here.
at 5% interest each year.
I guess not.
Instead of spending that
Um,
extra money, and into 30
The
years, you'd
basis
have $1 million.
strengthened even quicker, and I'll show it to
So
you in a
these
little bit.
5 and 10
Now,
cent tips here
what's
I'm
this
giving you.
basis here? Oh,
are
let's
important.
calculate it.
And
370,
as you go through, I'll show
minus
you how it may
395
be, not that
equals
you're making
minus
an 11
25
cents.
cents.
By making the correct decision, you're
strengthens
losing 11 less
more
cents.
than we thought.
That's the same thing as
Now
11
on
more
this number
cents
line, we're
in your
going from
pocket.
minus 51 up to
So let's
minus
look at this
25.
here. So we
And
go
this
to
number here, now a
620.
gain of 26 cents versus
sell
21 cents.
Okay? So
And
you
let's
make
say we sell
20
it at 370,
cents
which is the same as
on
the
that
first
strength
example.
Okay?
Now I want you to
The
say
difference
something right
here,
now
though,
is that
I
this
already
time,
know the
when
answer
we
to
buy
the
our
judge.
July futures back, okay, it's $3.95. And the answer to it is, in the earlier example, $4.16. And I'll prove it
Notice
to
it
you
was
as we go. $4. What I want to prove you,
Okay, now what
anytime
happens
this
here?
strengthens more than you expect, in this case by a nickel, they move together
You'll
even
do
quicker.
exactly that
Or
amount better.
if we look
In
at
this
this
case,
previous
a nickel.
chart,
Right here.
so we made 26 cents.
Well, I guess not.
Let's see how we did it. The basis strength
come
over
over
here,
here,
and I'll show it to you in a
we
little bit.
still lost 30
Now,
cents here.
What's this basis here? Oh, let's
We still had to
calculate
pay
it.
our storage.
370.
So by
keeping that corn minus 395, we were 39
minus
cents,
25
25 cents
than we were
strengthened
before.
more than we thought.
We come over
Now on
here,
this number
though.
line, we're going from minus 51, 451 in our
minus
pocket.
25.
We took 395
This
number
number
out of
here
our pockets, and where are we? Is now a gain of 26 cents. We're up 56 cents versus 21 cents.
Okay, remember,
So you
we
made
make money in the futures
26
market
cents
as a speculator
on
when
that
it goes
strengthening.
down, or even as a hedger. Now I want you
So
to
we
say
make
something
this
right
money.
now. I already know
More
the
than
answer
making
to
up
this hedge, this amount of money. I'm over here. So then we come over here, and the answer to it is, and it cost us a penny, the brokerage, and I'll prove it to you as we go. 55 cents. What I want to prove you is anytime this strengthens more than you expect, and our net from the hedge by a nickel, you'll do exactly that amount better. It's plus 16 cents a nickel. Okay, where'd we get it? 55 cents minus 39 is 16. Let's see how we did it. We take the $4, as we come over here to 16, we still lost 30 cents and it equals $4.16. We still had to pay our storage, so by keeping that coin over here, we were 39 cents worse off, minus 1 cent before, plus 16 cents. We come over here though, we put $4.51 in our pockets. We took $3.95 a little bit out of our pockets, and where are we? We're up 56 cents. If this had been 35 cents, remember, we make money in the futures market as a speculator when it goes down, or even as a hedger, and this would have been 5 cents less than that. It would only been more than making up. Two ways that could happen. Money. This might have been over here 5. Then we come over here 65. Or maybe this was 405, and it cost us a penny. So here I gave an example of the basis strength 5 more than you thought. 55 cents by a nickel. And our net from the hedge. So we're close. We go. We're much closer than trying to predict the price. Price changed. 56 cents there and 70 cents in the cash. 39 is 16. We take the $4. We add the 16. There's another point I want to make on this, but I'll get it sometime along here. So this is what over here, perfect hedge, is minus 9 cents, minus 1 cent. If this had been 35 cents, this would have been 5 cents worse. So we're a nickel better as we go through. Now, it could have gone in a little bit different. So let's see if I made my next one over here. Though I'll be right in the morning when you see them. And it is 35 cents. Okay, this would have been 16 cents. The basis was 5 cents thinner, and this would have been 5 cents more than that. It would only 5 cents stronger, 6 cents. And we did 5 cents better happen as we go over. This might have been 335. I mean, over here 365. Or maybe this was, so we've gone through these different hedges again. So here I give an example of the basis strength 370. I sold at 370 from here. By a nickel, cost me 9 cents. We're close. Storage, we're much closer than trying to predict the price. 370, I've already accounted for this 30-cent loss. 56 cents there, and 75 cents in the futures, which comes out to be 46 cents. Again, this is another point I want to make on this, but I'll get it sometime along here. Now, so this is what we did at an elevator to hedge to rise. Our check was probably written for $4.16. This had been 35 cents. This would have been the same calculation is used in order to calculate as we go through this. Yes. So let's see if I made my next one over here. Though I'll be right in the morning when you see this next one here. The hedge still worked. Okay. Let's say it went up. The basis was 5 cents thinner. When we go over to this, we made 5 cents more, or excuse me, 5 cents stronger. Prices up, and we did 5 cents better. This column did not change any over here from when futures prices went down. So we've gone through these different hedges again. All what really happened, we calculated. I made 370. I sold for 370 from here. Or in other words, if I did this imperfect hedge. Okay, prices went up because in this 370 I've already counted 25 cents loss. I would get, and then I made 55 cents in the futures, which comes out to be 46 cents. All that would happen in that futures is up. Is let's say a net. Price futures up. This one would have been 495. If you did this at an elevator that had to arrive, your check would have been my extra $4.16. But it's the same. Another thing that I want to point out on here that I'm trying to remember
I said at the beginning, you can calculate a hedge using
where this
these two
is.
columns, or you can calculate a hedge using this column.
So if we go to this next one here, the
Notice I
hedge
do
still
not have
works.
storage in the futures market part. I do not have brokerage over in the cash market part. Now, when we go over to this hedge, I have storage with futures prices brokerage over here. Plus, this column did not change from over here, because the gain you see here, the net difference futures price is always going to be the same as the net difference. All we're doing is we're calculating positive or whether it's negative, and in all these cases, it's positive. Or in other words, if I did this same example, if this number is negative, start thinking about it. Do I want to went up? If the base is still strengthened at 25 cents, I would get the same money.
So as we come over here, all examples we were correct. We were on this side. It paid us to store it.
That's not,
It paid us to hedge.
you know, this one would have been $4.95, or
not the hedge,
$4.75, and that would have
The
added
price is down,
my extra
we hedge it, we
nickel.
won. Later on, we're gonna learn
Another
that
thing that I want to point out on here that I've been trying
even
to
if we
remember,
didn't hedge it,
I said at the
we
beginning,
lost
you can
less money when the market went down than if we were in a case over here.
or you can
Because
calculate
you
it
notice
as
cash
using this
went down
column.
faster than futures, but we gotta learn some more of these
Notice
tools
I do
before
not
we look
have
at.
storage in the futures market
Too much.
part.
And,
I do not have brokerage over in the
about
cash
that
market part.
about that particular one.
But I have storage,
And this one here,
brokerage over here. Plus, I have the gain, this hard over here, because the gain you see here, the net
I'm not gonna
difference
do this
is
one
always
by
going to be the
by
same
hand.
as the net difference you see
There's
here.
a difference though. If you look up
Whether it be
here,
positive or whether it be negative,
I'm talking about
and in all
6
these
cents.
cases, it's positive.
If this,
And I'll show an example, but if this number is negative, start thinking about it. Do
now
I
that
want to
it's
hedge?
blank over on the handwritten one. So we store it for $4. So as we come over here, all our examples
We sell it for
we were correct. One, we were on
So
this
all
side.
these numbers
It
are the
pays
same.
to
Now,
store it.
what
number's different?
Number
Number
is
the
the
number
hedge.
right down here. Or, okay,
It
why did I
pays
get
not
the hedge
the $4
and just to store it? 6 cents
So price
storage
is
here. Down, we hedge it, we won. Later on, we're gonna learn that, even if we didn't hedge it, we lost less money when the market went down than if we were in a case over here. Notice cash went down.
If you look up
faster
here on the
than
screen,
futures, but we gotta learn some more of these tools before we look at. And too much. And, the storage is
That's about
26
that
cents. How did I get that?
about that
So it's
particular
6
one.
cents a month storage. What I did here is I
this
took the
one
2
here,
cents a month of where I could be.
I just have this hard copy.
I'm not gonna do this one paying back my loan, so because I didn't, that cost me 2
Here's the
cents.
difference,
So if you look up here, this was stored at the elevator,
talking
so
about
I'm
6
paying 4 cents a month. A month? So if you have 2 cents and 4 cents, you
Now
have
that
6
it's
cents.
blank
You
over
take
on the
6
handwritten
cents for
one.
4.5 months. So we store it for $4. We sell it for $4.51. So all these numbers are the same. Now, what number's different? This number right down here.
Right there.
Okay? Why did I get the $4, the 6 cent storage here?
I just want to go towards that 26 cents.
Come over here. Yeah. So we have the 26 cents.
There's something wrong
Now,
here.
as we go through this, that's the difference. So let's look up here in the basis column there. We gained 21 cents, but storage is going to be 26 cents. We're going to take a break of 26 cents. How did I get that? 6 cents worse. 6 cents a month head down the bottom of the last column. What I did here is I took the 2 cents a month of where I could be. Otherwise, the numbers, we made the same amount of money in the futures market, or 50 cents, after paying back my loan. So because I did it, that cost me 2 cents. The other thing is 39 cents in the cash market, 30 from prices going down to 9 cents. Storage, we lost 56 cents. So if you have 2 cents and 4 cents, you have 6 cents. You take 6 cents for 4.5 months. Futures is 50 cents. So we take minus 50 cents, 56. We add it to the minus 50 before, and we lost 6 cents from the hedge. Or otherwise, the price received would be $3.96.
Cursor on the screen.
Where you want to get
Now,
to, take it there.
Right there.
what's this telling us?
See if
I
did
just
the next
want to
one.
go
Did I
to
go
that
up
26 cents.
one screen?
One slide up. Yeah. So
No,
we have the
please.
26 cents. Now, as we go through this, we're back to here. That's the difference. So let's go with this is telling us
basis column
when the
there.
hedge doesn't work, we gain 21
Is it
cents.
roll
over, but storage
on
is
the
going to be
left-hand
26
side of the
We're
price
taking
and
decision
broker,
chart, and we're going to do 6 cents worse on our hedge down the
Is-
bottom of the
is where we
last
are.
column. It's saying, don't hedge, okay? The market will not pay you, otherwise the
to
numbers, we
swear.
made the same amount of money in the futures market, our 50
And we can
cents,
actually
after
look at our
subtract the
hedge-
brokerage, our futures markets, and
instead of
look a little
losing,
closer. So for
you know,
39 cents in the cash market, 30 from prices going down, and 9 cents.
here we're back
with
at
our
our
futures
56
markets.
cents.
In the
Let's- the
cash
first one
market.
we
look at is March is 440, then July
The
is
next
the
one,
futures is
51
50 cents. That
So we
means the
take
market
minus
is going to pay us
50 cents,
11 cents to
56,
store it, added to them in
minus
March until
50
July,
before,
and we lost 6 cents from the hedge. Or otherwise, the price received
And then-
would be $3.96. Remember, the market, right,
Now-
the cash market is $4.
telling us.
Okay?
See if I did the
Which
next
is a
one. Did I
40-cent
go up
basis
one-
to the
one
nearby
screen?
March. We think it's going to 30, so that's the other one, 10
slide up.
cents. No, 10
please.
cents plus 11 cents is our 21, but it's going to cost us
we're
26
back to
cents
here.
storage. So this is what this is telling us, when the
right
hedge
today.
doesn't work, and this is something
Is it
we're
roll
over, think about right now, on the left-hand side of the
Anybody who
price and
has
decision
corn
chart stored at home for sellers. So it's costing them 1 to 2 cents.
where
If
we
you don't
are.
have any loans to pay off, what's your
Don't hedge.
interest? A quarter
The market
percent
will
or
not
something. Pay you.
The market's saying, I'll
to
pay for
store
on-farm
storage today. And we can
market's
actually look
also
at our
saying,
hedge,
I will not
futures
pay
markets and look a little
storage
closer. So
if
if
you
we
store it
advance
in
two
an
sides, because even if we went to that 4 cents, we basically
here we're
break
back at
even,
our futures
and it wouldn't be
markets.
worth doing. The first one look
so
at
the
is
market is
March
telling us
is 440.
we have corn at home storage.
July is 451. Corn in the elevator. That means the market is going to pay us 11 cents to store it now. But remember our chart, July.
If we go back to the other camera for just a second.
And then, remember the market, right, in the cash
if we look
market,
at our other chart,
is $4. Okay? It puts us over here, which is a 40-cent basis to the
Just
nearby
because we
market.
go over
We think it's
here,
going to
and
30.
we don't like
So
the
that's the
basis,
other
we
10
want to
cents.
take the basis right now.
Doesn't mean 10 cents plus 11
That we
cents
want to
is
get
our
out of the
21,
market.
but it's going to cost us 26 cents storage.
This prior example
So this
here,
is what this market's telling us right
the
today.
6 cents.
And this is something you can think about right now.
Okay?
Anybody who
It's
has
not
corn
saying,
stored at
when I
home,
say
don't store, so it's
I am
costing them
not
1 to 2
saying
cents because
the
you don't have any
market's not
loans to
going
pay
up.
off. What's
It's
your
a
lost
separate
interest?
decision.
Quarter percent
the
or
basis
something.
says,
don't pay
the market's
storage,
saying,
so
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
pay
pay
for
for
on-farm
on-farm
storage
storage
today.
today. Go to a basis
The
contract
market's
or
also
something.
saying,
I will not pay to sell my cash, your storage,
Why?
if you store it in an
Because I
elevator.
expect the futures,
Because
I
even
think
if
the
we went
market's
to that
going up,
4 cents,
but I
we'd
think the
basically
futures
be
market's
break even,
going up
and it
faster
wouldn't
than
be
cash.
Wouldn't be worth doing.
So why store?
So the market is
Get
telling
out of
us
the cash
if you
market.
have corn at home, store it.
And I'm going to buy an equivalent
You
amount
have
of
corn in the
futures,
elevator, and
that's
that's
called
called
a
a basis contract, sell cash, buy futures, you see up here.
If you remember
Which
our
we haven't
chart,
discussed a lot. My point
We
here
go back
is,
to the other
when the
camera for
hedge
just a
doesn't
second.
work, we're on this side of the chart. We don't, we like to look at it now because for our purposes, we think it's going to get, it puts us over here. Just because we go over here,
So if
and
we
we
look
don't
at
like the basis, we
we're
want to
probably
take the
come back
basis
to
right
this
now.
chart towards the
Doesn't
end.
mean that we want to get out of one over these other contracts,
Okay.
just
this prior example
little
here.
so we come back over here, and if we could go down another slide, right here, okay, it's not saying, when I say don't store, I am not saying the market's not going
I want to
up.
review just a little
It's
bit
separate
on the
decision.
historical cash and
Here the
futures
basis
prices
says
here
don't
again.
pay storage, so I'm
And
going to
we've
price
seen
the
this
basis
graph
now.
before.
Perhaps go to
This
a
is where
basis
we
contract or
expect the
something, we'll
basis
learn
to
here a
do.
little bit. I'm
We
going to sell
expect
my
the
cash
basis to
Yeah,
strengthen.
why? Because I expect the futures,
would tell
I
us
think the
it'll
market's
strengthen
going up, but I think
by
the
at least
futures
the amount of
market's
storage,
going up faster
by the
than
amount of
cash storage. So why
Probably
store?
won't do more. I'm gonna
But we
get out of the
gotta look
cash
at-
market.
well, that's what theory says.
And I'm gonna buy an equivalent
Let's
amount
see
of
if that's
futures,
what
and we'll
really
really have a
happens.
basis contract, sell cash, buy futures, you see
The
up
key
here.
here, though,
Which we haven't
isn't
discussed
whether
a lot.
this whole
My
chart
point here
follows
is,
theory or
when the
not.
hedge doesn't work,
the only part of this theory
on
we
this
need
side
to
of the
try to
chart,
follow,
we don't,
that
we like the
towards
basis
delivery
now,
time,
because for our purposes,
in our
we
case,
think it's going
in
to
late
get.
June, if we're
we
using
think
the
it's gonna
July
get,
futures, the only part of this
worse.
theory we really care about is
So
where
as
it's
we look at
strengthened
that,
to where we think it should be.
probably
Either
come back to
transportation
this
from
chart
Chicago
towards the end,
or adjusted by
start
the local
going over these other
supply and
contracts,
demand,
just,
what's been the average basis for the last 5 years, throwing out the high. So we come back
and the
over
low.
here, and if we could go down, why am I
slide.
less concerned by what the basis does over that period? Well, I am concerned, but we know what the basis is today. Okay? So the
I
only
wanna
thing we
review
have
just
to
a little bit
count
on
on
the
the
historical
historical cash and futures
taking the
prices here
basis
again,
to where we expect
and
it
we've
to
seen
be.
this graph before. So let's look at, so
This
this
is
is
what
what
we
we expect
let's look at
the
the next
basis
chart,
to
the
do.
next one.
We
move
expect
them
the
ahead
basis
one.
to strengthen. Theory would tell us it'll strengthen. This is
by the
old
least
data,
amount
but
of
it's not
storage.
all that
By the
out of
amount of
date.
storage.
Just the elevator's
Probably
on.
won't do more.
What this
So
is,
you gotta look at,
is if
well,
you
that's
look
what
across
theory
the
says.
bottom,
Let's
right
see
about
that's
what really happens. Number one, there's the first week in October. The key here, though, is isn't
bottom
whether
things
this
of the
whole
week
chart
out
follows
around
through or
30,
not. 37, the only part of this
and
30 we
38
need the chart
is
to
the last
follow
2 weeks of June.
is that towards delivery time. So
In our
let's
case,
look at
in
that
late
side of
June,
the
if
chart
we're
first.
using
The July futures. The only part of this theory we really care about is where all those bases, if we plotted the bases, take a different route, but over on the right-hand side, or right above 38 or 39 month there, supply and demand, what's been the average basis for the last 5 years, throwing out the high and the low. Why am I less concerned by what the basis does over that period? Well, I am concerned, but we know what the basis is today.
So here you're looking at something like this
So
here.
the only thing we have to count on the market doing is taking the basis to where we help out here a little bit, Steve. So let's look at the rather old
you'll
chart.
see it
Let's
both
look at the
places,
next
so
chart,
one's
the next
clear, but
one.
one my finger goes
Move
somewhere.
ahead one. Right in here,
You notice everything strengthened.
this is old
between
data, but it's
20
not all that
cents.
out of date. Just the
Okay?
elevator's
So the
gone.
average here, if I had to do an
What
average
this
basis,
is if you look across the bottom,
right in here,
right about, would be about, number one, there's the first
would be
week in
about
October.
15 cents.
So as you, those bottom things strengthen a lot more now. Out around
We have a
30,
problem with the basis
37. Remember when
And
it's
38,
38, 25
is the
cents
last
instead of
2 weeks
30,
of
did
June.
we do better or worse?
We did 5
Okay?
cents better. In this
So
case,
if we,
if we were
let's look at that
expecting
side
to
of
be
the chart
15,
first.
and it turned out to be 10,
Okay, that happened to be 1995,
Those-
96.
all those bases,
Some of you
if we
youngsters
plotted
remember
that,
bases,
some of
take a
us
different
older
route,
ones,
but over on the
that's kind of
right-hand
new
side, right above 38 or 39 month there, we did 25 cents better if we'd have hedged. Now,
You'll
you'll
see
see
that,
tell you, those prices went to $5 at that time, and you would have been better off not hedging at all. But notice each one of these, they take different patterns. This one is pretty,
So here you're looking at
weak
something
and
like
started.
this here.
It's strengthening enough probably to pay storage. This one started out, so we probably would have hedged if we thought the market was going up, because you'll see in both places, so
minus
one's clear,
25,
but one
we
my
thought
finger
it was only
goes
gonna go
somewhere,
to
minus 15, which means right in here, you notice everything's
So we probably
strengthened
wouldn't have hedged.
between 20 cents
We
and
thought the
10
price
cents.
was going up, we would have done it.
Okay?
hedge would
So
have
the
worked.
average here,
Then we
right
had
in
another
here,
one that
goes
goes
here
here.
and tightens up. So the key here
Right
is,
in here,
the important thing
would
here
be about
is that we know what the basis is
about
when we
15
hedge.
cents.
Now,
And
one
we have a
year
real good
strengthen a
idea
lot
what
more
it's
than that.
gonna be,
Do we have a problem with the basis
when we get
strengthening?
out.
Remember when it's
Right now,
strengthened,
you know, we're looking
25
at
cents
something like
instead of
this
30,
right
did
now.
we
We're
do
looking
better or
at,
worse?
say, this
We did
basis
5
here
cents
about
better.
minus
In
50
this case,
cents.
if we were expecting it to be 15, and it turned out to be
30
10,
cents,
but this, if
okay,
that happened to be 1995, 96, some of you youngsters
we were
remember that,
expecting
some
to
of us
go
older
to
ones,
15
that's kind of
cents.
like new information. They have done studies, this is old data, it is to 5
We
or
did
6
25
years. cents better if we'd have hedged. Now, the
But I
studies have
did
shown
tell you,
research across the
prices
country
went
that
to
you really want to
$5
look at the nearest
and you
5
would
years
be
and
better
then
off,
fill out the high and low. Notice each one of these, they take
get your
different
average
patterns.
one.
It is
This is
interesting
pretty-
to have a lot more
pretty weak
years
when it
than that.
started, it's
just to see
strengthened enough
well,
for
what's the
storage.
what's the strongest
This
the
one
basis
started
ever
out,
was.
so we probably wanted to hedge if we thought the market was going up. The basis was, and don't worry about
this line coming down here. All the elevators
only going to go to minus
shifted
15
from July,
which means
to December
by
that
that
we're
time
going
when
to
their
pay
cash price storage. So we probably would have, and the market crashed July 4th, we would have done it. A hedge would have worked. Then we have another one that goes here and tightens the worst one. Well, this is. So the key here is, back a whole bunch of years, we probably found out the worst one was 35 cents
that
or
we
something.
know what the basis is
So we
when
don't
we hedge.
expect that kind of risk. We
And
don't
we have a
expect
real
the
good idea what it's gonna
5 to 10% risk
be,
one way or the other when we get out.
When we look
Right
at
now,
this.
you know, we're looking at something like this right now. We're going to say this basis here out
We're
about
close.
minus 50 cents.
and we can go on.
Well, to go to 30 cents, but this, if that was the 50 cents at this elevator, we were expecting it to go to 15 cents. So they have been studies. This is old data. It is to 5 or 6 years. Find on DTN sometimes. The
I'm not
studies
going
have
to
shown
show
a lot of
research across
times
the country that you really want to look on there. They show you what the basis has been for the last year.
high and low. July actually got out, it looks like
it is
June there.
interesting to have a lot
more years than that.
just before the red line
Just to see
is shot.
well, what's
So
the
you see
highest,
cash
what's
this
the strongest
particular
the
year
basis ever was.
at this particular
that's
elevator, which was about
That's the
15
weakest
miles
the
from
basis
here.
was. And don't worry about
from
this line
MSU
coming down here.
The
All the
basis was
elevators
actually positive.
had shifted
And
from July
many
to
people
December by that
saw
time
it
on
this
their
year
credit price.
in the summer.
The market,
We knew the crop was bigger, but they wanted the corn right now because we had no corn, so they had to bid up the
And
cash
what's the
price
worst one?
for
Well,
the
this is,
future.
well, so this is that whole bunch of years, we probably found out the worst one was 35 cents or
1995,
something.
96 like
So we
year,
don't expect
where we
that kind
actually
of
had a
risk.
positive
We don't
basis.
expect the 5 to 10 cent risk one way or the other.
You then see as we
when we
go in the
look at
fall,
this,
those are, up to the
point
November
where
one is based on the,
we're close.
and we can.
The December
and we can go
futures,
on.
and you see the basis was that 30 cents or so going through. So if I was looking at December basis for next year and was going to base it on 1 year at that elevator, it would have been about 40 cents.
to the next chart, I'll show you something.
Notice it strengthens as we go
sometimes.
a little bit.
I'm not going to
Those two
spend a
lines
lot
are
of
starting
time.
to get closer and
If you
closer
dig
together.
around on there, they
Yeah,
show you what
ever
the
since
basis has
November
been
then
for the
to
last
based on the
year.
March futures.
So the basis has been
July actually
strengthened.
got out,
It
it
looks
looked
like
like
June
June
there, but if you look at the difference between that red and
just
that
before the red line,
it's
it's
gradually
sharp.
being,
So
and
you see
actually at the
cash
end of
this
that
particular
particular
year,
year, now it's 29 cents.
at this
And I
particular
expected it to be
elevator,
about
which was
20
about
cents at
15
that-
miles from
at
here,
that particular,
from MSU, the
elevator.
basis was actually positive.
Again, many people in Michigan saw it this year,
Right
in the
here
summer.
is where July went.
We knew the crop was bigger,
July
but they
went
wanted
up,
the corn right now
on the
because we
basis.
had no corn,
Here
so
we
they
have
had to
40
bid up the
cents.
cash price
Here's about
for the
35
futures.
cents, and
So
we
this is
strengthened
that
up here to
example
about 40,
of
49.
the 1995,
Go to the
96
next slide,
last
we'll
year,
just keep
where we
bumping
actually
these
had a
down
positive
for a little
basis.
bit. So you can have one clear one, and we can look at one.
You then see as we go in the
way.
fall,
So let's
those
just
are
continue this way
up
for
to
most
the
of the rest
November
of the
one is
week.
based on the, I'm going to look
The
at
December
December
futures,
futures, and you see the basis was
Okay,
that,
because just
30 cents or so going
on farm
going through.
storage.
So if I was looking at December basis for next
doesn't
year, I was
always
going to
mean
base it on
it'll
1
work.
year at that
I can't
elevator,
see these numbers
it
as
would have been about
clearly
40
on my
cents.
fingers, but you can see them very
Notice
clearly
it
right next to
strengthens
it.
as we go into a
March
little
is
bit.
316
Those two
and a
lines are
quarter.
starting to get closer and closer
And May
together.
is
Basically,
they're all
ever since
299.
November there, it's been based on the March
What's
futures.
happening there?
So the basis has been
Okay.
strengthening.
It's
the
a little
basis
hard to
gonna
tell there,
strengthen, but if you look at the difference between that
It
red
doesn't
and
look like
that
it.
black line,
And in fact,
it's
what the
gradually
markets
being,
are
and actually in the
telling
end,
you,
I'm going to show you how right now
Works
it's 29
doing a hedge.
cents, and I
Is
expect
the
it to
market
go to
saying,
about 20
you know
cents
what?
at that
Between March and
particular,
May, I want you to,
elevator.
I want you to pay me, again,
basically about 17 cents,
Right
17
here
and a half cents.
is
For the
where
privilege
July
of
went.
storing,
July went up.
keeping your
On your
cash
basis,
means, whether
Here
it
we
be
have
the
a 40
elevator
cents.
or
Here's
at the
about
farm,
35
the
cents, and we
market's
strengthen
telling
up here
you
to
that's
about
going to
40.
cost you 17
49.
cents above and
Go to the
beyond
next slide, and we'll just
any
keep
cost
cost
of
these
you
kind of
incur
rolling here for a little bit.
or the
So you can
elevator
have one
as you
clear
go
one,
through.
and we can look at
If
one.
you go on to July, this
Right.
market says, well, I'm going to
So let's
lighten
just
up on you
continue
the
this
next
way
2
for most
months.
of the rest of the evening.
No, I'm not. I'm going to charge
I'm
you
gonna look at
$0.19
soybean
futures. Okay, because of
July.
on-farm storage,
The market is
screaming to you,
corn,
do not
doesn't
pay
always
storage,
mean
do
it works.
not have any soybeans in your bin at home,
clearly,
do not have any soybeans,
you can see them being
clearly
paid at the
clearly
alley
right next to it.
The market is not saying
March is 316 and a quarter here, that futures
and May
go up
is
or down.
basically 299.
Indicating though,
Okay.
what's happening there? That the market's not real strong
Okay.
now, and then we
Is the
get into
basis
outlook
gonna
and stuff
strengthen?
like how big's the South America. It doesn't look like
it's
it.
seen a little
And in
recovery the
fact,
last
what the
couple
market
days.
here is telling you, and I'm going to
So
show
forth
you
and
how
so
it
on.
works doing a hedge.
So,
I'm
is
not
the market
saying
saying,
don't be in the
you know what?
soybean market. Between
I'm
March
just saying
and
don't pay
May,
any
I want
storage.
you to pay,
And
I
we're
want
gonna
you
two tools you
to
can
pay
do that
me,
with.
you just sell the
Basically
cash and buy the
17
futures if you think
cents,
futures are going
17.5
up.
cents.
For the privilege of storing, and then even if you lose and
keeping
futures
your
go
cash
down,
means,
guess what? Whether it be at the
at least
elevator,
you only lost in the
or at
futures
the
market,
farm,
you didn't
the
win
market's
paying all that
telling you
storage.
that's going to cost you
But let's
17
jump ahead to
cents
even make the
above and
point better.
beyond any cost that you incur
We're
on
going to
farm
use May futures, so
or the
on
elevator
2.5
as you go
months out,
through.
they're
As we go on
$12.99
to July, the market says, well,
The
no,
cash
right
price,
now,
I-
the next
I've
2
used
months,
it's a little bit different place.
no, I'm not, I'm going to
It's
charge you
$12.93
19 cents.
is what you could sell it for
To
today.
store it. I'm going to
From
stick to
May
the expected basis
July.
of minus 30 cents.
The market
even
is
though
screaming
the
to
basis
you,
is stronger
do
than
not
that
pay
today.
storage.
Do not have
I'm
any
gonna sell
soybeans
storage
in your
cost
bin at
6
home.
cents.
Do not have
And
any
that's still
soybeans
opportunity cost
being
on
paid
that
at the
6%
elevator.
loan here.
The market is
Okay?
not
This is
saying
worth
about 3 times corn, so
Here,
2 cents
6
times
times
to go
3,
up
6
or down.
If brokerage
Indicating
trading
the
is
same. But the market's not real strong now, and then we can get into outlook and stuff like how big South American
bushels of
South
soybeans
recognized
seen
it
a little
generally
recovered
takes
in the
more
last
bushels
couple
than you
days,
get, so forth and so on. So, I'm not saying don't be in the soybean
So
market.
we'll jump to the next one.
I'm just saying don't pay any storage. And we'll learn 2 tools you can do that with. You can just sell the cash and buy
One
futures
here.
if you think futures are going up.
And then jump, you stay at that one there. I've written in
And
some
then
of the
even if you
numbers
lose
already
and
just to
futures
let us
go
know.
down, guess what? At least you only
Actually,
lost in the
Steve,
futures
if on
market,
that
so you
screen
didn't
you
work
could go
on
back,
all that
that'd be useful.
storage.
But let's
There
go
we
to
go.
a hedge to even
Let's
make the
put
point
these
there.
in. So we're going to store, we're going to use
We'll
May
buy
futures,
these soybeans,
soybeans,
and
and
we
we
purchase
purchase
them
them,
for
we bought them,
$12.99.
they're ours, we own them, that's the key. The cash price, and we
used
could
them
sell
to
them
live
today
at
for
the
$12.93.
Is $12.93.
Yes, I know we could have sold it before, but that's history, and it's too
I'm going to
late.
stick with
Don't
the
worry
expected
about it,
basis
we'll
of
learn a
minus
little bit.
30 cents, even though
The basis
we're going
is
to use
stronger
May
than that
futures.
today. Okay.
I'm going to call storage
And I'm
cost
gonna call
6 cents.
$12.99
Hey,
like
that's
over
still
here because I
opportunity
rounded
cost
up
on that 6% loan here.
Okay, this is worth about 3 times corn, so 2 cents
So I
times 3
subtract that, and the basis is
the
negative
brokerage fee
minus
would be the
6.
same, 5,000.
But if I go over
5,000
here,
bushels.
And
Of
I
course, to get
remember that
5,000
on
bushels of soybeans, it's well recognized, it generally takes more bushels than to get
basically
5,000 bushels of 20, 14.
So if we jump to the next one,
And that'll be something I have to correct, but I will be corrected. I'm going to buy these back, one here.
I'm gonna
sell them, I mean.
and then jump.
So I'm going to sell these
You
beans.
stay at that one there. I've written in some
And
of the
let's
numbers
say the
already,
market
just to let us
goes
go.
down to $12. Actually,
Okay.
Steve, if on that screen you could go
Right
back
here,
one,
I'm
that'd be
actually
useful.
gonna do a perfect hedge.
Here we go.
to make a
Let's
point.
put these in. So we're going to store,
Okay?
or buy these
So if this is
soybeans.
a
I mean, we
perfect hedge,
purchase
and
them,
remember
we buy
what that
them.
means.
They're ours.
The actual
We own
basis
them.
turns
That's
out
the
to be
key.
an expected basis.
And we
Thinking
could
ahead
sell
further,
them today for $12.93.
The price is 12.
Yes, I know we could have sold it before, but that's history and it's too late. Don't worry about it other than to learn a little bit. To buy back our May futures. We're going to use May futures. What are futures? And I'm going to call them $12.99 like over here because I rounded up from minus futures and 3/4. The basis is minus $12.99. We know the cash is $12 and the basis is negative minus 6. Which when we go through that, we know that futures then have to be. If I go over here, $12.30. And I remember that on, now, this number is different here. 4, 20, okay? We're going from minus 6. That'll be something I have to correct, but I will be corrected. To minus 30. I'm going to buy these back. The market said, okay, give me 24 cents these beans. Okay. And let's say the market goes down to 24 cents right off. Okay. My storage, I'm actually going to do a perfect hedge, which is 2.5 months times Okay.
6 cents.
So if this is a perfect hedge,
Minus
and remember what
15
that
cents,
means,
so I have the actual
my
basis
storage
turns
over
out
here,
to be
I have
my
my
expected
brokerage
basis.
think
And
in
the
your head
market
for a little
says,
bit. If cash is 12, you hedge,
and the basis
and you're
is
going to pay me
minus
40
30
cents for doing it.
So how did I get this number
Buybacks
here?
are made futures.
I just took my 12.93.
What are
And I
futures?
subtracted off my 40
So
cents.
we know the basis,
And I did
equals
it. Now,
cash,
we know right
minus
away, as
futures.
soon as we
know
do
the
the basis
best.
is minus 30, that we're not
we
going
know
to
the
have,
cash is $12,
that the basis is liable to weaken,
know that futures
not strengthen. You
12.30.
don't see any hedges over here. But it was still important to do this quick hedge.
Now,
This
and we're
number
moving
line's
pretty
different
good.
here for understanding purposes.
Okay.
We know immediately,
We're going
anytime
from
this
minus
number's
6,
negative, just like it was a lower to minus
we had
30. Off-farm storage for corn, the market saying,
You know
okay,
we're on this chart.
give me 24
Again.
cents. That means
Okay.
we're not going to store the corn, we're going to get rid of
so
our
losing
cash.
24
cents right off. My
But we still
storage,
haven't
decided yet whether futures are
Which is
going up. 2.5
the
months.
futures are going down.
If they're going up, like I
6
said
cents,
before, I don't mind you being in the
minus
market when it's
15
going
cents,
up.
so I have
If you're going to be in the
my
market,
storage over here,
speculate
I
on the
have my
market, it's going to
brokerage,
make you the most money.
and
the market says,
cash may go up, not enough to pay your storage.
you hedge,
Okay?
and you're going to pay
Stop
me
paying
40
storage
cents
for
just
doing
get
it.
into the futures. You might say, well, that's
So how did I
speculating.
get
this number here? Buying
I just
futures,
took my
being out of cash is
12.93,
speculating. And I subtracted
the price
off
could go
my
up,
40
The
cents,
price could go down.
and I did it.
Putting
Now,
grain in
we
your
know
bin is
right
double
away,
speculation.
As soon as we do
You're
this,
speculating the price will go
that
up,
we're not going
or
to
the
hedge.
price will go down, and you're
If the basis
speculating
is
that
liable
your
to
grain won't
weaken,
spoil,
not
or
strengthen,
strengthen, or dry out a little quicker,
don't
or
see
a whole
any
bunch of other
hedges
things
over
that
here.
could happen to
But
it.
it was still important to do
Most
this
here
quick
you
hedge.
hedge.
Stores, and that's not a
We
big
will
risk.
complete it just for
But
understanding
given it's
purposes.
not going to pay anyhow,
It's probably not a good
we
idea.
know immediately, anytime this number's
So we
negative,
come back over here.
just like it was a lower,
What happens?
we
We
lost
had
93 cents
off-farm
storage for corn.
There,
We
we know
lost
we're on this
15
chart.
cents here for losing
Again.
$1.08. That means we're not going
Okay.
to store the corn, we're going to get
Over
rid of our
here.
cash. We did make 69 cents, but this time, every other
still
time,
haven't decided yet where the
market
futures are
goes
going up, or the futures are going
up,
down.
we make more money in cash
If they're
than we
going
lose in
up,
futures. When the futures
like I
went
said
down, we
before,
made, I don't mind
more
you
money
being in the
futures
market
than
when
we
it's
lost
going
in
up.
cash.
Or if you're going to be
Here,
in the market, let's
didn't
speculate on
happen.
the market, it's going to make you the most money.
Okay?
Cash may
We
go
lost
up.
money, not enough to pay your
Basically,
storage.
as you can see, we lost our
Okay.
24 cents.
Stop paying storage, just get into the futures.
Minus
You might
6
say,
to
well,
minus
that's
30.
speculating.
Again, I made this a perfect
buying
hedge. Futures, being out of cash is
And we're minus
speculating.
40. The price could
Minus
go up,
69.
the price could go down.
Putting grain in your bin
And
is
plus
double
69
speculation.
minus 1,
You're speculating the price
You
will
get
go
plus
up,
68.
or the price will go
the
down.
net from the futures here,
And you're speculating that your grain won't spoil, or go bad, or
It's
dry
plus
out a little
68,
bit, or a whole bunch of other things
should
that
put
could
those
happen
decimal
to it. Points in, most here, you good stores,
We
and that's
lost
not a
40
big
cents.
risk. But given
we
it's
got what
not
we
going to pay
expected.
anyhow,
40
it's
cents
probably
worse
not a good idea.
then this number here is this
So we
number
come
here.
back over here, or we
What
sold it
happened
for
for
lost 93
$12?
cents. There, we lost 15
paid
cents
15
here for
cents
losing
off of that,
$11.85. We did
Okay.
make 68 cents in the
Over
futures to
here,
get us back up. We did make 69 cents, but this time,
While 12
every other
is a
time,
lot better than
the
12,
market goes, it's nowhere near as good.
That's
Up, we make more
$12.90.
money in cash than we lose in
12.93.
futures. When the futures went
So this
down,
is
we made ample.
more money in
Just like you
futures
were
than we
this
lost in
column,
cash.
Here, if this number's
didn't
negative,
happen. Okay?
we lost
We're gonna
money.
use the tools on this
Basically,
side.
as you can see, we lost
of
our
the quadrant.
24 cents. Minus 6 to minus 30. Again, I made this a positive edge. We're going to use
And we're
one of the
minus
tools
40
on
this
minus
side.
69, and not necessarily hedging. I mean, plus 69 minus 1, and we get the plus
So if we could,
68. The net from the futures here. We go down a couple screens
plus
over there.
68.
Steve, please. I should put those decimal points in.
Yeah,
we
this
lost
is
40
the
cents.
one that's done.
So we got
One
what
more.
we expected.
We might be coming back
40
to this
cents worse.
okay.
Now,
And this number here is this
I've
number
been sitting here
or
telling
we
you
sold it
there's an easier
for $12.
and a harder way
Of doing a hedge.
We paid 15
I've done
cents
the
off
hard
of that
way.
for 11.85.
The hard way, that's
We
the
did
one
make
that
68
explains it
cents
to
to
you.
futures to get us back up to 12.53. So let's go,
Well, 12.53 is a lot
to
better
this
than
next
12.
page here.
This is
nowhere
the
near as
same
good
information I had
as
earlier on.
12.90, as 12.93.
Okay, and you can see it clear.
So this is an example.
Just
Just
by
by
doing
doing
this
this
column,
column, if I can tell my right
This
and left.
number's negative, same corn price, same cash price, same
We're gonna use
expected
the tool
basis. On this side, monthly storage cost is
quadrant.
2, brokerage cost is 1. Okay, now,
This number is
these are
positive.
cost.
We're
Okay?
going to use one of the
Wait,
tools.
So I come down
on this
here,
side.
and I'm not necessarily
doing
a
it.
hedge. July futures, or whatever futures month you want, we'll try a
So we
couple of
could,
them, okay? 451.
Yeah,
So I subtract 30 cents off of it.
we
Or
could down a
otherwise,
couple screens
when I
over
do
there.
this,
Steve, please.
I'm adjusting,
Yeah,
futures, this is the one that's done to cash.
One more.
We might be coming back
Okay,
to
so
this,
we
okay,
take
30 cents off of
Now,
that.
equals 421,
I've been sitting
right?
here and telling you there's an easier. What I've done is,
And a harder way
in a hedge,
of doing a
since we're
hedge.
locking in both
I've
sides,
done
we
the
can
hard
do
way.
that. The hard way, but the one that
futures
don't move
explains
it
it
all.
to you.
And the basis
Okay.
is minus 30.
So let's
We're
go
gonna expect the cash price to be 421.
to this next
We're
page
gonna
here.
subtract off our
This is
costs
the
and get
same
411. information I had earlier on. So you can get the same
Okay, you
answer
can see it
here
clear.
as
Well,
we've
there's
done
your left-handed side if I
by
can
going through
tell my right and
this
left.
whole mess. Same
You want
corn
this kind of a
price,
mess?
same cash price, same expected
But this way you
basis.
don't know why.
Monthly storage cost
Strengthening
is
the
2.
basis, which we'll even look at.
Brokerage cost
a little bit
is 1.
harder.
Okay, now
as we go to the,
these are cost. Okay,
to the next
right?
one.
So I come down here. So we look at
Okay.
this here, simple way of doing it. What
Yes.
happens if the basis doesn't
July
turn out?
futures, or
That
whatever
was the
futures
nice
you
part
want
about
to
this
run,
one.
we'll try a couple of them,
This is
okay?
what we expected. 451.
When
I
we found out what it
30
was, we
cents
knew how
off of
much
it.
better or worse
And
we did.
otherwise, when I do
Remember,
this,
it was this exact amount. If this was 5
I'm
cents difference,
adjusting
this is 5 cents difference,
futures
and the net is 5 cents different.
cash. So let's
Okay,
do this
so
one. Take 30 cents off of that, and let's say
Equals
this
421, right?
was our expected hedge.
Okay.
This was our
What I've done
expected
is-
net. In a hedge, since we're locking in both sides,
one
we can
happened.
say that if the futures don't
Okay.
move at all,
Which one was
the
that?
basis is minus
What are
30.
my imperfect hedges
We're going to
here?
expect the cash price to be 421.
Things all over the
We're going to
place.
subtract off our costs and get 411,
Right.
So you can
It
get
was
the
25
same
cents.
answer here.
Lo and
We'll
behold,
hold
I'm
on
5 cents better
by
off.
going through this hole. So all you
Mess,
really have to do
yes,
is you
it's
look at
kind
the
of
hedge,
rough.
oh man, the basis went to 25,
But
I
this
thought
one
it
you
was
don't know
30, I was
why.
expecting
It's the
strengthening the
411
basis, which we'll
I'm
even
gonna
look
do
at
that,
our 416.
a little bit
harder as we go to the 451 to the next one. Let's say it went to 35 cents. So we look at this here. We had a what happens
like
if
the
the basis
local crop
doesn't
is
turn out?
huge?
Because
Or
that was the
maybe
nice part about
large
this
dairy
one shut down.
This is what we expected.
Temporarily.
When
But
we
for
found
some
out what it
reason,
was,
the
we
local
knew how much
basis
better or
was
worse we
weaker
did.
than we expected.
Remember, it was this
Okay, well, this
exact
is
amount,
wrong,
of course. This is 5 cents difference.
Okay,
This
how
is
we gonna
5
do?
cents difference. We take this
And the net
35
is
cents
5
off, so
cents
here the
different.
market adjusted to 426.
So let's do this
Here the
one.
market adjusted,
And let's say this was our expected
the other
hedge.
direction.
This was
But
our
the bottom
expected
line
net.
is this is 411. You take 5 cents off 411. This one happened. And you're at 406.
Okay.
Which one was that?
so
Whatever
you're-
my imperfect hedge is here.
Yeah.
10-cent difference here.
Things all over the
10
place.
cent different here, you have a 10 cent difference,
All right.
difference here. It was
So
25
again,
cents.
only thing that can change your
Lo and behold,
hedge
I'm 5
from
cents
your
better off.
expectations. So all
The
you really
basis
have to do is you
doesn't
look at
turn out
your
to
hedge,
be,
oh man, the basis went to 25, I
to
thought
take
it's
it.
30, I was expecting 411.
Ought to be.
I'm gonna do better, I have 416.
So,
You know, if you had a thing and all of a
451.
sudden, you know, the futures, today the
Let's say
futures went
we're
to
at-
35
you wanted
cents.
to pick,
We had a March or something,
looking like
and
our local
30,
crop is
you think
huge,
the base is gonna be
or
20 cents?
maybe a large dairy
Under-
shut down.
You think storage is 10 cents?
Temporarily.
You think the
but
brokerage
for
is
some
a nickel,
reason, the
'cause that's
local
a big
basis
number.
was weaker. 35 cents
expected.
over that, and you're gonna get 3.
Okay, well, this is wrong, of
95.
course.
Okay, how are we gonna do? We take this 35 cents off, so here the
So I
market
can keep
adjusted
going
to
here.
426.
The other
Here the
thing I want
market
to talk
adjusted
about here
is, we always took our hedge the other direction, and we
But the
carried
bottom
it.
line
is, this is 411. You take
From
5 cents
July-
off 411,
I mean,
February until the
and
end
you're
of
at
June, 406. I just want to tell you some right now, and we'll go into it in detail a little later.
Yeah.
The
10
other
cent
nice
difference
thing
here.
about a
That's
hedge,
10
different here, you have a 10
is we
cents
don't
difference.
always
Difference
hold it.
here. So
For the
again,
whole
the
period.
only thing that can
Why are
change
we in
your
a
hedge, we're in a
your
hedge because we
expectation
expect it to strengthen
is that the
21
basis
cents when our
doesn't turn out
storage
to
is only
be-
9 cents. What you think it ought to be. What if we were going along? So, you know, if you had a thing and all of a sudden, you know, the futures, you know, the way the
420,
futures were at 14, you wanted to pick, the basis had already gone to 30 cents. 430, you think the base is gonna be 20 cents.
Well, what
happens there is, you think
it's
already
already
done all the
10 cents.
strengthening. You
There's
think
no
the
need to
brokerage
get
is a
any
nickel,
more,
because that's a
hold
big
it the
number
rest
at a time. 35 cents
So
over
we
there,
don't
you're
need to
gonna get
because
the, it's in your bin, you can
95.
sell it, or it's in the elevator, in your control, you can sell it. If
So
you're
I
doing
can keep
something what we
going
call a
here.
hedge to arrive. The other thing I want to talk about here is, you're not willing to walk our hedge. The market's going up or the market's going down. You're watching from July, this strengthening from 51 cents today until the end of June. Is it more than paying storage? I just want to tell you something right now, and we'll go into it in detail a little later. I just want to let you know. The other nice thing about a hedge, flexibility, is we don't always hold it as we go through the whole period. Why are we in a hedge? We're in a
Back it
hedge
up one
because we
screen, please.
expect it to strengthen 21 cents when our
Until we
storage
look
is
at
only
this
9
one here.
cents. We don't have a lot more time, but I want to tell you where we're going next time. What if we were going along? Start on that path right now. You know, we talked about hedging, 14. The basis of already gone to 30 cents. Unprotected is, whether it be on farm. Well, what happens there is, it's already done all the strengthening. There's no need to
we all
get
know
any
what
more.
selling
Hold
cash
it the
is.
rest of the time. There's no need to, because so the next, your bin, you can sell it, part of it, in the elevator in your control, you can sell it. One is learning some of these tools we haven't talked about yet. To arrive. And you get out of future. I think most of you probably know what it is. You're no longer watching whether the market's going up or the market's going down. A basis contract, which you probably have an idea, and a 51 cents today futures, which is exactly, by the way, what paying elevator does. And this, and we're going to go through a whole chart on that, but I just wanted to let you know. So the first thing we're going to do, so we're going to do two things. We're already learning one of them as we go through. We're going to make a decision. Do we like the futures better today, Steve, if you could, or later? Back it up one screen, please. And in this quadrant here, I like the futures later until we look at this one here. So we have the question, do I like it now or later? We don't have a lot more time, but I want to tell you where we're going next time. And then I ask the second question path right now, before I decide what tool. Do I like the strong basis now? We talked about hedging, or the weak basis I'm expecting later. We all know what stored cash unprotected is. The hedge, whether it be on whether it's going to be strong enough or weaken at a commercial elevator. The soybean, when they're actually weakening. And we all know what subtracted storage off of this for the corn one, it was weakening too after you account for storage. So the next part of this, so what this market's doing is we priced the basis. One is learning some of these tools we haven't talked about yet. Price to futures. Forward contract, I think most of you already know what it is, but we're going to show you why it falls into this one. So we come down here to this contract, which we probably have an idea. Do I like the futures better today? Which is exactly, by the way, what the elevator does. We're sellers of grain. They offer you a we like higher prices better than we like lower prices. The first thing we're going to do, so we're going to do two things. So we're already like futures now. One of them. We're going to price the futures. We're going to make a decision. Do we like the futures better today? Look at it or later. Do I like my strong basis here? I like the futures later. Basis later. I think we have the question, do I like it now or later? I like it later because if you like the futures now, then I ask the second question now, before I decide what tool. Okay? Do I like the contract basis now? And we'll look at that a little harder. Basis, the point is, we're going to set our price today from the hedge, okay?
whether we deliver it today
enough or weaken.
or we set our price
The
for
soybean will
some
actually
time
weakening.
later
But
delivery.
if you subtracted storage off of this for the corn one, it was
So if we
weakening
go up
too
into
at
this
this quadrant.
storage.
Do I like the futures better today or later?
So what
I
this
like them
market's
later.
telling us is we priced the basis today.
That's one decision, I made it later.
And we don't
The other
price the
decision is,
futures.
do I like my weak basis today?
And then we have the
Two
strong
tools which
basis
we'll get
later.
into
I like the
to do
strong
that.
basis. So I'm gonna wait. I'm not
We
gonna
come
price
down
my
here to
futures
this quadrant.
and I'm not gonna
We look at
price
it.
my basis.
Do I like
Which
the
obviously
futures
means I
better
have to
today?
price my cash, because the
But
price
tomorrow,
cash, well, if
we
we're
have to
sellers
price
of
both the
grain,
futures
we
and
like
the
higher
basis.
prices better than we like
Come
lower
down here
prices.
to the last quadrant.
So, we like
And
futures now.
do
We're
I
gonna
like
price
futures
the
today
futures
or
now.
later?
The other thing
I
we're
like
looking
them today.
today is basis. So what's a hedge?
Do I like
I'm
my
gonna
strong
price my
basis
futures
now?
right now, or my weak
I
basis
buy
later.
selling
I think
futures.
the answer's pretty
I
clear.
lock in my
I like
price.
my strong
When I
basis
sell at
now.
451,
If you like
I
the
get
futures
451
and you
futures,
like
so
the
I lock
basis
that
now,
futures price in.
I'm gonna sell it. I don't like the
Okay.
weak basis. Forward contract is setting a price,
like
and
to
we'll
see
look
the
at that a
basis
little
get
harder.
stronger.
But the point is,
So
we're
what do
gonna
I
set
do?
our price today. I don't sell my
Whether
cash.
we
deliver it today,
Remember, cash is made
or
up
we
of two
set our
things.
price for some
Cash is
time
made up of
later delivery.
of the futures
And the basis. So if we go up into
Get
this
the cash,
quadrant,
you have to
do I
make a
like the
decision on
futures
both.
better today or later? I like them later. I have priced the futures.
That's one decision, I made it
By
later.
not pricing
The other
cash,
decision is, do I like my
I have
weak
not
basis
priced the
today?
basis. Or the strong basis
Okay.
later. I
I've
like
only
the
priced
strong basis.
one half
I'm
of what
gonna
makes
wait.
up.
I'm not gonna
When I
price
say
my
one
futures.
half, I don't mean half
I'm
the
not gonna
price.
price my basis.
Just one of the
Which
two
obviously
decisions
means I have
was
to
two
price my
decisions.
cash, because the price
By not-
cash,
by holding on to my cash,
you have to price both
which is
your
made up of futures and
your
basis. I've only locked in the come
futures
down here
portion
to the last quadrant of that.
So I don't lock in either.
Do I like futures
Here I
today
lock in
or
the
later?
futures and not the basis. I like them
Here I
today.
lock in both.
So what's a hedge?
Here I lock
I'm going
in
to
my
price my
basis.
futures right now, but I don't lock
by
in selling futures
in the futures.
I've locked in my price. When I sell at 451, now I get 451 futures. So I lock that
I'll put
futures price in.
these notes up.
I'll put the scribblings
I don't like
up
the
as long
weak
as the
basis.
others, and I got a couple corrections to
I'd like
make
to
on
see
the
the
other
basis
part.
get stronger.
So what do I do? Next week, I'm going to be traveling to Ohio and Canada, sell my cash. To spread my
Remember,
bills.
cash is made up of two things.
So we're going to
Cash is made
get
up
started
of
again on
of the futures
February and the basis.
17th, right?
If
To
we're
get the
gonna have the
cash,
last
you have
slide
to
here,
make
we'll
a
get it.
decision on both.
Because I think I put the
So-
right date on that one. Yeah. We're
Price
going to meet
the
again on,
futures
together on
by not
February
pricing the
17th.
cash.
Same
I have
time.
not priced the basis.
The place is up to you.
Okay? I've only priced one half of what makes up.
And
Not,
I'm
when
going
I
to
say
put on
one half,
what I
don't
want
mean
for
half
that
the
time,
price.
and I'll send out an
Just
email
one of
as
the two
well.
decisions, if there's two decisions.
Practice
By
some
not
hedging.
holding on to my cash,
And then,
which is
I
made
have
up
a
of
thing up
futures
there
and
that goes
basis.
through all
I've
these
only
different
locked in the
pricing tools.
futures portion.
And then we're
of
going to
that.
go through, and we're going to
So I don't
calculate.
lock in
We're
either.
going to hedge.
Here I lock in
We're
the
going to
futures and
calculate
not
a
the
basis
basis.
contract.
Here I lock
And
in
what happens
both.
when prices go up and prices
Here I
go
lock
down?
in my
We're going to do
basis,
sell cash buy
but I
futures.
don't lock in.
We're going to do
in
each one of these, and then we're going to say, how does that affect us if prices go up and
I'll put
prices
these
go down?
these notes up.
That's
I'll
where we're
put
going to
the
jump in
scribblings
last
up as
time.
long as
I'll
the others
do
are
have a
hedging.
couple corrections to
As
make
it
on the other
relates to
part.
this chart here.
Then we'll
Next
jump
week
into
I'm going to
the
be traveling to
different
Ohio and
tools.
Canada.
Then we'll go
through
describe
all
my
those
tools.
tools.
And
And
we'll
we'll
look a little bit about today's
get started
situation.
again
And that's just
on
6 of the tools.
February
When we get
17th,
through
right?
that,
Then
then
we'll
we'll
do
do
the
the last
options,
slide here,
and
we'll
that's
get it. Because I think I put the right
Right,
date on
and
that one.
really
Yeah.
get you,
We're going to meet again
going.
together on February 17th. Same time.
you have questions out
The
there?
place is up to you.
Take a little bit for questions.
And
I'm going to put up,
and what I want for
when I
that time,
email this all
I'll
to you,
send out
my
an email as well. As you look at this, practice some hedging.
Please, send any
And then
questions you have.
I have a thing up there that goes through all these different
which I've
pricing tools.
responded to.
And
If you
then we're
send
going
me
to go
questions,
through,
I'll respond
and
to
we're
them
going to
usually that
calculate.
day.
We've done a
Unless I'm out
hedge.
of town, and then it would be
We're
that
going to
evening or the
calculate a
next.
basis contract. And what happens when
Next
prices
day.
go up and
If you're
prices
driving,
go down? We're going to
say
do sell cash buy futures.
And
We're going
we'll
to
see
do each
you
one of these,
February
and then we're going to
17th.
say, how does that affect us if prices go up and prices go down? So that's where we're going to jump into next time. I'll quickly review hedging as it relates to this chart here. Then we'll jump into defining the different tools. Then we'll go through all those tools, and we'll look a little bit about today's situation. Now that's just 6 of the tools. When we get through that, then we'll get into options, and that's a whole new one, and really get you going. Steve, that's we have questions out there. I've saved a little bit for questions. If not, when I email this all to you, my email's there. As you look at this, please send any questions you have. I have had a few questions, which I've responded to. If you send me questions, I'll respond to them usually that day, unless I'm out of town, and then it would be that evening or the next day. If you're driving, have a safe trip home, and we'll see you February 17th.